This is Module 3, Lesson 3, The Integral Nature of the Human Person. In values education, when we talk about the integral nature of the human person, we are talking about our material and the spiritual faculties. Those are the knowing faculties and the appetitive faculties, respectively. Let's study these faculties. Our basic premise in values education is that a human person is a union of body and soul, of material and spiritual. Our material nature and spiritual nature are endowed with material and spiritual faculties. They are built into us as members of the human race. Our knowing faculties are sensitive and intellective. Ibig sabihin, gusto nitong malaman o maranasan o maintindihan ng isang bagay or object. Samantala, our appetitive faculties are unitive. Ibig sabihin, gusto nitong maging united or maging kaisa sa isang bagay or object na nalaman nito or naintindihan nito. Now, let's talk about our material nature. The knowing faculties are divided into external and internal senses. Our external senses, of course, are the 5 senses: smell, taste, touch, hearing, sight. Halimbawa, nalalaman natin na masarap pala ang chocolate dahil nalasahan natin ito. Or nalaman natin na maganda sa Coron, Palawan kasi nakita natin sa pictures sa social media. Sight. Or nalaman mo kaya pala sikat ang Ian Darcy halimbawa kasi ang bango ng pabango na ito, etc. That's the reason why the external senses are knowing faculties kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng knowledge dahil dumadaan sila sa senses natin. Then we have internal senses. They are consciousness, imagination, memory, and instinct. Consciousness is our awareness of sensation, synthesis of external senses, or perception. Our estimative power and common sense may already be under consciousness. Imagination is the construction and reproduction of images. Memory is responsible for the recognition of objects in the past. Instinct is our tendency to do good and our inclination for well-being and our aversion to evil and danger. Our appetitive faculties under material nature are the emotions. They are love, hatred, desire, aversion, joy, sorrow, hope, despair, courage, fear, and anger. They are not necessarily opposite of each other. These emotions affect our appetite for something or attraction to someone or something. Halimbawa, kapag nararamdaman natin ang love o nagmamahal tayo or pagmamahal, diba gusto natin maging united or kaisa sa taong minamahal natin? We are drawn towards the person we love. Kapag nag-uumapaw ang desire or paghahangad natin sa isang bagay, gumagawa tayo ng mga paraan para makamit ito. So our emotions influence our or affect our actions. Isa pang halimbawa, pag nalulungkot or stressed, binabaling natin ang ating attention sa ibang bagay. Halimbawa, pagkain. We unite ourselves with eating just to escape our sorrow. Nagkakaroon tayo ng mga defense mechanism kapag hindi maganda ang emotions natin. And that is normal to us human beings. Kaya importante sa values education na alam ng mga estudyante kung anong dapat gawin when they feel or experience certain emotion. Kasi kung hindi nila alam, emotions will destroy them. Emotions will overpower them and control them. It's not easy, but it's possible. So again, ang ating appetitive faculties or emotions ay nagtutulak sa atin na kamtin ang gusto natin or iwasan ang ayaw natin. Now, let's talk about our spiritual nature. Our knowing faculty under spiritual nature is our intellect or conscience in theological language. The function of our intellect is to think, its purpose is to know, and its goal is the truth. And don't forget that the highest human fulfillment as far as our spiritual knowing faculty is concerned is wisdom. In values education, we do not stop when the students have already acquired knowledge. We push them and we help them turn their knowledge into wisdom. Ang wisdom should not, remain abstract in the life of our students. It should not be complicated. It must be concrete and doable. Halimbawa, hindi sapat na ituro lang natin sa mga bata na dapat alagaan ang kapaligiran or kalikasan. Kailangan kailangan nating matiyak na gagawa sila ng mga konkreto at simpleng hakbang sa buhay, sa bahay o sa komunidad na nagpapakita ng pag-aalaga sa kalikasan or environmental care. Ang wisdom na tinutukoy natin dito sa values education, maliban sa theological wisdom of course, is the manifestation and practice of the core values and the related values under physical dimension, intellectual dimension, moral, social dimension, spiritual, economic, and political. So those core values and related values are discussed under the course Legal Basis of Values Education. Kindly check them. Now, let's go to appetitive faculty under spiritual nature. Our appetitive faculty here is the will. Its function is to do or to act. Its purpose is to choose and to love. And its goal is goodness. Do not forget that the highest human fulfillment as far as our spiritual appetitive faculty is concerned is virtue. In values education, our duty is to direct our students to what is good, to choose the good, and to love and to act in accordance with our moral standard or virtues. Why do we teach this? Well, that's because it's not easy, especially among our teenage students. When passions and emotions are stronger, they tend to divert from what we consider as morally good. Kaya tinuturoan natin sila kung paano nila i-handle ang buhay nila. We teach values they can use as their moral compass towards what is really good, or the supreme goodness or the ultimate good, who is God Himself. Halimbawa, hindi lang natin itinuturo kung ano ang freedom at responsibility. Higit sa lahat, itinuturo natin ang kahalagahan ng tamang pagsasabuhay ng kalayaan na makatutulong sa paglago ng kanilang pagkatao at sa pagkatao ng iba. So sa values education, ang target natin ay maging consistent at constant ang pagsasabuhay ng virtues na nakaugat sa ating core values and related values. Bakit? Dahil ito ang magiging daan patungo sa ating goal na goodness and ultimately to the supreme good Himself, the God we believe in. So, those are the integral nature of the human person, and we consider the material and spiritual natures of the human person and their knowing and appetitive faculties. To recap, we talk about the integral nature of the human person. We talk about the faculties under the material and spiritual natures. Under the material nature, the knowing faculties are the external senses and the internal senses, while the appetitive faculties are the emotions. Under the spiritual nature, the knowing faculty is the intellect, while the appetitive faculty is the will. So that's the Module 3, Lesson 3, the integral nature of the human person. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to smack the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button too. Thank you and see you in the next video.